Chapter 1. 2 plates, 1 ligament. Here is a child's knee from the front. 2 growth plates, the distal femoral epiphysis above, the proximal tibial epiphysis below, and the ACL running between them, crossing the joint. Now watch the adult operation. A transfiscal tunnel drilled through the femur, and the tibia crosses both plates on its way to the joint. In a growing child, that drill can injure the epiphysis, and injured epiphysis heals with bone, a epiphyseal bar. The bar tethers growth on one side. The limb stops growing or grows crooked, leg length discrepancy, angular deformity. So the child's operation moves. An all-epiphyseal reconstruction keeps both sockets down inside the epiphyses, away from the plates, sparing them. And for the youngest, Tanner 1 to 2, the Micheli-Kocher technique roots an iliotibial band graft over the top of the lateral femoral condyle and under the intermeniscal ligament, no tunnels across either epiphysis. Younger children often do not tear the ligament mid-substance. They avulse bone from the intercondylar eminence instead. The tibial spine avulsion, the child's ACL equivalent injury. That is why, in a child with hemarthrosis, plain films precede MRI. These AP and lateral radiographs show small avulsed osseous fragments at the expected ACL attachment, and that finding changes urgency and treatment. The mnemonic is spine, skeletally immature, plain X-ray first, intercondylar eminence, needs reduction if displaced, extension block. The radiograph also earns its keep beyond the spine, osteochondral fragments, a Sagon-type injury before the scanner is reached. In the adolescent, the pattern shifts towards the adult injury, a complete mid-substance tear. This sagittal T2, fat-suppressed MRI shows the ligament's continuity lost, with lateral femoral condyle and posterolateral tibial plateau bone contusions and a joint effusion, the pivot signature. But read the whole knee, not just ligament continuity. The bone bruising pattern confirms the mechanism, and the menisci, cartilage, and collateral structures decide the plan. The acute pattern is lateral meniscus plus bone bruise. Medial meniscal and chondral damage come with recurrence and delay. And a partial tear is judged on clinical stability, not MRI percentage alone. Chapter 2. The knee preservation problem. A swollen knee after a pivot injury is an ACL tear until proven otherwise. The ligament is intra-articular but extrasynovial and vascular, so it bleeds into the joint, hemarthrosis. The mnemonic is ACL, acute pop, collection, rapid effusion, looseness, 2 pitfalls in the acute child. First, do not force the pivot shift on a painful knee. Latchman is more useful. Pivot shift comes later or under anesthetic. Second, a locked knee is urgent. A bucket handle meniscus or displaced fragment blocking extension. Calling this a sprain is the original error. Everything follows from it. This is the mechanical block made visible. Sagittal and axial panels show a medial meniscal tear with a flipped posterior meniscal body. The arrows mark the displaced fragment. A displaced tear like this explains locking and loss of extension after ACL injury, which makes a mechanical block an urgent finding, not a watching brief. It also frames the timeline. The lateral meniscus and bone bruise belong to the acute injury, while medial meniscal and chondral damage accumulate with recurrence and delay. The meniscus is the real urgency in this injury, and this is why urgency is worth it. A sagittal 3 Tesla MRI of a 10-year-old. The pediatric meniscus is highly vascular, and vascularity supports repair potential in the growing knee, reinforcing meniscal preservation rather than default meniscectomy. A child's meniscus has to last decades. Every preserved fragment is load-bearing surface kept. So read the MRI for tear morphology, the vascular zone and repairability, not the ligament in isolation. Instability and delay increase secondary damage. Repair now is the operation that stays available. Chapter 3. Fix now or wait. James 2021, Pluto. 30 studies, 50 cohorts, 1,176 patients aged 19 or under. Delay beyond 12 weeks. Any meniscal tear odds ratio 0.23. Irreparable tear 0.31. Commoner after delay and likelier to be unsalvageable. GIN 2025, the largest synthesis. Instability 0 to 7.4% after reconstruction, 20 to 100% without. But stability was not the difference. KT 1000 laxity did not favor either timing, P 0.413. The argument for early surgery is meniscal and chondral preservation, not better final stability. And rehab first means selected active surveillance, not permission to keep pivoting. Triggers are giving way, new meniscal symptoms, recurrent effusion. K 2018, 9 studies, 1,353 children. Medial meniscal injury roughly halves with early reconstruction, 26% against 47%, pooled relative risk 0.49. Roughly 1 extra medial meniscal tear for every 5 knees left unreconstructed. Against that, a leg length discrepancy over 10 millimeters after reconstruction is 2.1%, a 1 in 50 risk that does not justify doubling meniscal injury. That asymmetry is the argument. The caveat, retrospective level 4 studies and reverse causation, some of the 47% was determined before the choice existed. Association, not proof. Chapter 4. The FYSIS decides the operation. The operation is chosen by how much growth remains, and growth is staged properly. Tanner, 1 to 2 prepubescent, 4 to 5 postpubescent. Bone age by Grulich, Pyle Atlas or Sanders stages. Girls' growth largely complete about 2 years post-menarche. Peak height velocity around 11.5 to 12 in girls, 13.5 to 14 in boys. FYCs are most active around and before peak velocity, that is when FYCal sparing wins. Then the ladder. Prepubescent, Michelli, Kocher iliotibial band over the top, no tunnels. Early puberty, all epiphyseal, sockets inside the epiphyses. Mid-puberty, partial transphyseal hybrid. Near maturity, transphyseal, small central vertical tunnels, soft tissue graft, fixation away from the FYSIS. Beyond the peak, with Tanner 4 to 5 and closing FYCs, transphyseal becomes safe. Mature, standard, anatomical reconstruction. The all-epiphyseal answer, drawn, femoral and tibial pathways remain within the epiphyses while the FYCs are spared, a growth-respecting option when substantial growth remains and anatomy permits. Then the graft. Quadriceps versus hamstring, Rangasamy 2024, graft rupture 3.5% against 12.4%, roughly a quarter of the failure rate, but the confidence intervals are wide and nearly touch. Hypothesis, not settled. What is settled is avoidance. A bone block did not change the rupture rate and adds FYCal risk for no measured gain, so no bone patellar tendon bone across an open FYSIS, and no allograft in the young active knee. The tibial spine arm has its own classification, Meyers-Makiva. Type 1, non-displaced or minimally displaced. Type 2, anteriorly hinged. Type 3, completely displaced. Type 4, displaced, comminuted or rotated, and meniscal tissue or the intermeniscal ligament may block reduction. Non-displaced and stable in extension, immobilize. Displaced or blocked, arthroscopic reduction and fixation. Suture or screw. Reoperation odds ratio 0.22 favors suture, but most of that benefit is definitional. Hardware removal odds ratio 0.08 because screws come out and sutures stay. Instability, arthrofibrosis, range of movement, no difference. Suture avoids a second anesthetic. It has not been shown to build a better knee. Chapter 5. Growth, Re-Rupture, and the Other Knee. Fury 2022 pooled 100 studies. Leg length discrepancy over 10 millimeters, 2.1%, and 83% of those discrepancies involved the femur. Angular deformity of 5 degrees or more, 1.3%, femoral valgus 41, tibial recurvatum 33, tibial varus 22. Shortening is commonest overall, but overgrowth is commoner after all epiphyseal techniques. The direction of the error depends on the technique. Yet the literature is mostly not looking. Only 12% obtained preoperative standing hip-to-ankle radiographs, 35% followed to maturity. Quote 2% monitor growth, don't relax. Zacharias 2021, contralateral ACL injury, 22.5% of girls against 8.7% of boys. Odds ratio 3, unadjusted, from a denominator of only 335. 1 in 3 skeletally immature girls sustained graft failure or a contralateral tear. Overall secondary injury 24%, almost identical to skeletally mature patients under 25. Maturity alone does not determine risk. So return to sport is criteria, not calendar. No effusion, full extension, strength symmetry, hop tests, landing quality, psychological readiness. Counsel both knees from the first consultation.